Many items that had previously had no cast or recast time now have a 1 second recast time. Many spells on these items, such as the Poisonous Fungus Skull Staff, Pale Dragon Bone Ring, blah blah blah, and like a few robes and everything, no longer generate aggro. Items that cast player spells, such as Loot of Flowing Waters, Rod of Insidious Glamour, Robe of the Whistling Fist, now cast new copies of those spells and do not generate aggro. The player usable spells that were on them remain unchanged. Okay, so if you guys remember, a couple days ago I talked about a big exploit that was around, where basically I called it J-booting mobs, but the J-boot part actually got nerfed a while ago. This just kind of finished it off. So you could pull a dragon to a corner, and they would attack you through the wall. You couldn't hit them back. I told the group I was going to be AFK, so they would attack you through the wall. You couldn't hit them back, but they didn't have line of sight, so they would melee you, but they wouldn't cast any spells on you, including AEs. It turns out if like a dragon or a raid mob doesn't have line of sight on their target, they will cast no spells. They won't heal themselves. They won't trigger a single AE. So you hide your tank behind a wall, and your whole raid could just stand right on Nagafin's ass and kill him, and he basically just swings for 350 every round. Super trivial, right? The problem with that strategy has always been like, how do you generate aggro? Well, people realized that, you know, with a hotkey and some J-boots, you could basically generate enough aggro just by spamming that as fast as you could to keep mobs aggro on you. Because since you technically are buffing yourself, you're generating just a tiny bit of aggro, and because there was no cooldown, it was instant cast. There was really no risk, right? So you just sit there and you can more or less effortlessly kill the mobs while they don't cast spells or anything, just pure melee. You could do this with AONs, with J-boots, and a few other items. So that's been nerfed. Okay, Eridune is entering Luckland in 2 weeks. Just want to point that out. So we're pretty much past the period where that's relevant. And honestly, even in Velius, it's not super relevant in the raid game. So this is a fix to something that affects very few players on any current TLP right now. Now let's look at the next piece of evidence I have here that I want to bring to your attention. We've got this. I might have to expand this a little bit for you guys. Abzor post right here. Yesterday at 3 p.m., Abzor posted this. He said, "If someone would like to PM me the specific issues where players can grief the cleric epic, I would be grateful. You'd save me a lot of time." Now look at the time between Abzor's post yesterday and the previous post, August 28th. So it's like, what, 4 or 5 months or something? This is a thread that Bobby Bick made, rest in peace Bobby Bick, in like 2018 or something. Let's see when Bobby did this. Yeah, 2018. So Abzor suddenly responding to a thread from 2018, necroing it from like 4 or 5 months since the last post, and he's trying to fix what? A cleric epic problem that may or may not still exist, that would be not very relevant, again, on any current server. Now, what time of the year is it? January, right? Middle of January. What's going to come out in February? Producer's letter. Probably going to have a producer's letter come out in February. What's in March? March, April timeframe? Everquest anniversary. When do TLPs normally drop? March, April, May. So I think they finally finished this expansion, dropped it, boom, it's out there. They're doing some small tweaks and fixes, but what we're seeing are the devs circling back around, and they are hunting for issues that they need to fix ahead of the next TLP. Because I think in February, when they drop the producer's letter, they're going to announce a TLP server. They're going to say, hey, we're going to do a server. You know what? I'll say they're going to announce 2 TLPs. They're going to say, we're going to do 2 TLPs later this year. They won't tell us when. February, producer's letter. And it's going to either drop in March or April. Maybe it'll drop in May. But that's what we're going to get. And right now they're hunting for things that they need to get fixed. Top priority items ahead of a new TLP launch, which are the biggest exploits, the biggest griefable items. They also fixed Ring War shit. Eridune and Rizlona are at the end of Velius. Ring Wars don't matter anymore. No one's going to keep doing them. They're fixing it for the next